My nephew stopped talking to his father, and when I found out why, I understood exactly why he'd gone silent. His name is Mateo. He's 9. My brother Dario got joint custody 3 years ago after a rough divorce, and every other weekend, Mateo packed a small bag and went to stay with him. Nothing seemed wrong. Dario sent photos. Pizza nights, a trip to the lake, Mateo grinning with a fishing rod. Normal father-son stuff. Then, 4 months ago, Mateo started refusing to go. At first, we thought it was typical kid resistance, missing his friends, wanting to stay home on weekends. My sister-in-law, Elena, tried everything. Bribes, conversations, even a counselor. Mateo wouldn't explain. He just said, "I don't want to," and shut down completely whenever Dario's name came up. Dario got angry, accused Elena of poisoning the boy against him. Family group chats turned into shouting matches in text form. Everyone picked a side without any actual information to stand on. I stayed out of it mostly until Elena called me crying. She'd found something on Mateo's tablet, a note he'd typed and never sent, addressed to nobody. It said his father's new girlfriend, a woman named Priscilla, made him sleep on the couch when he stayed over, locked their bedroom door, and told him not to tell his mom, or she'll take you away and you'll never see your dog again. Mateo doesn't have a dog. He'd been asking for one for 2 years. That detail broke something open. A 9-year-old doesn't invent a threat about a dog he doesn't have unless someone told him exactly that, using exactly that leverage. I drove to Elena's that night. We read the note 4 times. Then Elena admitted something she hadn't told anyone. Mateo had come home with a bruise on his upper arm 2 months earlier. He said he fell off his bike. She'd believed him because there was no reason not to. Here's where it got complicated. Dario is not a bad man. I've known him my whole life. He struggled after the divorce, drank too much for a stretch, then got sober and seemed to be rebuilding. Priscilla, though, we barely knew. She'd moved in with him after 4 months of dating. Elena had raised concerns about the pace of it and been told she was being controlling from 3 states away. We didn't call the police that night. We called a family law attorney first because Elena was terrified that if this went nowhere, Dario would use it against her in the next custody hearing, painting her as the parent who fabricates accusations. That fear wasn't paranoia. It happens. Mothers lose custody battles over reports that can't be substantiated, while the thing that prompted the report gets buried under the word allegedly. The attorney told us what Dario's household actually needed was documentation, not accusations. So we did the quiet work. Elena requested Mateo's school records and found he'd started seeing the school counselor on his own, twice, without telling her. The counselor couldn't share details without a formal request, but confirmed enough. Concerns had been noted. Elena's cousin, a pediatric nurse, looked at photos of the old bruise and said the pattern wasn't consistent with a bike fall. We got a formal welfare check requested through the right channel instead of a screaming phone call to Dario. 2 weeks later, Mateo finally talked, not to us, to the counselor, in a recorded, mandated interview. Priscilla had grabbed his arm hard enough to leave a mark after he broke a glass. Dario hadn't seen it happen. When he found out afterward, Mateo said his father yelled at Priscilla but let it go because he didn't want to be alone again. That's the part that still sits wrong in my chest. Dario wasn't the one who hurt him, but he knew, and he chose quiet over confrontation, comfort over his son's safety. Custody was modified, supervised visits only, pending a full evaluation. Priscilla was never charged. Mateo's account, while credible enough for family court, wasn't enough for criminal prosecution without corroborating evidence. She still lives 30 minutes from Elena's house. Dario calls every week now, begging for the old arrangement back, telling Elena he's ended things with Priscilla, that he's ready to be the father Mateo needs. Elena doesn't know whether to believe him. I don't either. Mateo says he wants to see his dad, just not there. Not yet. Maybe not ever in that apartment. Every time the phone rings and it's Dario's number, Elena stares at it for a long moment before she answers, and I still don't know what I'd do in her place.